Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 365 Flicks podcast. This is our kind of spin-off show of sorts. We have decided
Yeah.
yeah, it is. It is. Thank you, Chris, for chiming in there. I thought you were just going to leave me hanging.
Well, you see, we were quiet for like a minute there, and I thought this is like the worst blab ever. I've not watched any, but
Did you hear the Carol bit though?
no.
No, that's fine. That's fine. You will
Well,
hear
you heard it.
when you play it back. You will hear it, and it will sound
Alright,
awesome.
okay.
I made a nice little intro for us where it kind of cuts into a bit of Walking Dead, and Carol does the monsters are coming. But yeah, so basically we've been slagging off Chris Hardwick and the Talking Dead for some time now on our normal podcast, which is the 365 Flicks podcast, where we talk about games, movies, TV shows. And Chris basically said, you know what, man, you're going to have to put your money where your mouth is on this. So we thought we would jump on Blab for our first ever show, and let's see what happens. Is that about right, Chris?
Me.
Yeah. I
We agreed I'm here.
We have established he's
Yeah.
going to be Hayes and you're going to be Chris.
Yeah, I do feel like I've sold out, if truth be told.
You
Um, But yeah, I did say to you, we're going to have to put our money where the mouths are because, yeah. But I'm looking forward to this.
I'm looking forward to it as well. We also, because when we done the game episode, Chris had so much fun listening to Hayes have a little rant about the old
Oh yes.
Walking Dead, some of his pet peeves. We thought we would get Hayes back on, the man from the gaming episode. How do you feel about coming back on? I mean, I think you're like our first official, is he our first official repeat guest?
Ash.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Ash done about 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah. I think that's it, isn't it?
That's about it, yeah.
We've not really been asked about asking anyone back on.
Yeah, because we just like to rant about ourselves and just have a go, you know?
Yeah.
But Hayes, how does it feel to be back on the most prestigious podcast that nobody listens to?
Feels incredible. I'd just like to thank all my fans. Thanks very much for having us back, guys. Yeah, it was a lot of fun last time, and you're always kind of thinking, oh, was it all right? Did I think I was all right? And then when you get invited back, you know that maybe it wasn't so bad after all. So yeah, thanks very much for bringing us back.
Well, like I
That's
said,
good to have you back, man. That was good.
it is.
I enjoyed listening back to the gaming episode.
I mean, straight away, you got straight in there by totally stroking our egos. So you knew you were coming back after
It's the
that.
best way. It's the best way.
I mean, you have to do a bit of Chris Hardwick, to get things going. That's all. Oh, start.
Let's just be clear that didn't happen. The whole thing was over Skype.
So, for those who have just joined us, for those who
It was a
haven't
private.
listened, private time, for those who haven't listened to the
It
365,
was.
we like to rant and we like to have a go at things. And The Walking Dead Part 1 of this series was terrible, for lack of a better word. It had a couple of standout moments, but it was really pants. And so we thought when it comes back, we'll jump on and we will give a live reaction. It just finished in the UK about half an hour ago. We might have been on sooner had I not totally fucked up on technical things. But here we are to talk about it. I just want to jumped right in before we actually start talking about the episode. Hayes, general feeling about the episode before we really get into the meat and potatoes of it.
Right. It's a mixed bag. I thought it was on balance a very, very good episode, but we've been here before with The Walking Dead. They do lots of good things that you like. I very much compare the first episode of a mid-season or the start of a new season of The Walking Dead is very much like an overeager teenager shooting his load, and kind of leaving his woman sort of deeply unsatisfied with the rest of the season. So I'm not gonna say that that I think this is this is The Walking Dead fully on form. It's possible. There was a lot of good things. There were some bad things. There was some moments that irritated the shit out of me. There was some proper edge of your seat moments as well. So I don't know. I mean, it was a typical season opener, mid-season opener for The Walking Dead. That normally it would fill you full of hope, but I've been here before. I've been hurt too many times.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
We have been hurt far too many times by this typical opener. I mean, as soon as it came up and the opening credits started to roll, and it said that this was episode 9, by the way, of part 2. As soon as I saw Greg Nicotero's name, I'm sitting there thinking, oh, here we go. Greg Nicotero's going to come on. He's going to do the season premiere of like the second half. It's going to be awesome, and then they're going to give it to some other shite bag, and he's going to fucking do what he wants. So, Chris, how did you get on with this? Like before we really delve in.
Yeah. Well, it annoyed me in the first couple of minutes because you know the guy on the bike. I don't know what his name is, but the guy on the bike that was sort of taking their firearms off them and all that.
Yeah.
I thought he was awesome.
He was awesome. He was absolutely amazing.
There's going to be spoilers here, obviously, in the next.
Oh yeah. By the way, if you haven't seen it,
spoilers for episode 1. So if you've not listened to it, if you've not watched it, even don't be so stupid yet. So yeah, that annoyed me. That I thought he was creepy as hell, and when he said, what was it? If you've got to eat shit, it's best not to nibble.
Oh man, what a line! What a line!
I love that line.
Yeah, that was class.
And I thought he was awesome. I thought he was great, and it was the same as the other season when we got what looked like was going to be a good bad guy. I know that Negan's there. Negan is coming.
Yeah, the guy you're talking about was Gareth, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You had that moment.
He looked like a good bad guy, and then he died. And then the same fucking thing happened. This guy looked like a decent bad guy, and he was sinister, and he was a little bit funny, And I wanted him to fucking kill someone.
But you have to admit, as far as cold openings go, that is a badass cold opening. I mean, I'll be completely honest with you. When Daryl went to the back with the other guy, I was literally sat there thinking, like, it didn't register to me that Daryl was off the screen anymore. And then all of a sudden, they just fucking blew up, and I was like, what the fuck, man? I was like, oh, this is how you start a show.
It was a good Daryl moment. I'm not, it was a good Daryl moment. I just kind of wanted him to kill someone.
But it kind of makes
that would have been a better opening for the part 2 of the season. I thought that would have been an awesome opening. This guy, where he did the thing where, he was kind of caught monologuing, wasn't he? Really?
Yeah, he was heavily monologuing.
Majorly monologuing. But I just wanted him. He was going to change his mind, and then he was going to shoot both of them or one of them, and then Daryl blew him to fuck. Yeah, I could have caught with him killing one of them.
I thought it was the big thing was obviously when Daryl came round with the bazooka, and you finally thought, well, at least there was some kind of point to that bullshit Abraham episode where he leans over and he grabs the bazooka from the zombie that's hanging. Yeah. I thought it was a really good sort of balls out Daryl moment. We haven't seen something like that from Daryl for a while.
Well, let's be honest. What did Daryl actually do in the last half of the series for the last 3 or 4 episodes? He wasn't doing dick. He was just kind of going around on the motorbike being a bit of a flid. So it does totally make up for it. Like, for him to take out 8 guys with a fucking rocket launcher.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was good. It was good. I like that guy.
He was awesome. And I, like you, was kind of like, oh, here we go again. Like, I was sitting there going, bloody Gareth again. You get a kick-ass villain, and then they just decide to kill him within 2 minutes. It's Gareth all over. You're right, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. So that annoyed me a little bit. I thought he would at least give him half an episode.
More than half an episode?
Just give him something to do. Fucking hell.
Here we go. Start.
So that annoyed me a little bit at the start of it. I think and then something else happened in a few minutes after that, after the opening credits.
Well,
that annoyed me as well.
We'll kind of go through it, and we'll get to that in a second. So basically, we've got the opening credits, but I want to do a quick, tiny recap of where everybody was at the end of the last series. So basically, Alexandria had been taken over by the Walkers. The herd was incoming. Glenn was on the outside with that little tart. Morgan had knocked out Carol, the biggest fuck you moment of the whole series.
Bastard.
And the wolf had kidnapped the lesbian doctor. I forget her name. Basically, Rick and the crew had put the Walker guts all over them, as Chris said, as Hayes said in the last episode, for the first time since season 1. You know, let's use that old trick because it worked that time, but we're not going to do it again. And one thing, you know, like when it came back and they were all walking through the herd, where was that scene where little Sam was like, "Mom"? Where was that?
That is something that really, really bugged us. I thought, right, so it's one thing to have a shit cliffhanger. It's another thing to just completely cast it aside the very next episode and just be like, that's fine, don't worry about that. You know, little kid shouting "Mum," obviously going to get the attention of zombies. Nah, that didn't happen. It's fine, totally fine.
They thought we were going to be okay with it, didn't they? But they did a lot of that within the episode. They tied up a lot of really shitty loose ends from the last series in this episode.
You know what I've just thought of there was, you guys have seen Misery, right?
Yeah.
He didn't get out of the cock-a-doodle car!
You didn't. I see what you're saying. So we had that, and we cut to Carol, Rosita, Eugene, and all. We were pretty much just kind of Game of Thrones in it a little bit. At this point, they were kind of showing us all the people again. Kind of, you know, Chris has always said, Walking Dead needs to take a note out of the Game of Thrones book.
Yeah.
And it felt to me like they were going that way, but then they kept coming back and going away, and then come back and then going away. And oh man, this for me was actually an excellent opening episode. But as you both agree, as you've both said, it is not without its gripes. Like, it's clearly not. So
well, yeah, the first thing that happens after the opening credits is, you know, they're walking through the herd and all that kind of thing. And then they decide they're going to go to the vehicles. And so the nutter preacher man says to Rick, "Give me your baby."
Let's give.
And he fucking does it. He fucking does it. And you've opened the gates to the fucking Alexandria in like 2 episodes ago, and you're going to give them a kid.
Yeah,
fucking not.
Yeah, the thing that possibly means the most to me in this entire world, I'm going to give it to Gabriel. Because he's very well known for being trusted. Gabriel is clearly going to use that baby as a human shield as soon as he gets attacked. Do you know what I mean?
Kill it or eat her up.
Yeah, just a little bit of walker bait, you know? I know what you're saying. Do you think that was maybe his plan all along, a bit of walker bait?
Oh, I don't know.
That annoyed me.
It still pains me seeing that guy play Gabriel. You
I know.
He's such a strong character in The Wire, and they're just... You know, seeing him, seeing that actor come in and play Gabriel and just be dealt with such a shitty hand in terms of lines. I mean,
it's it's Tyrese all over again. You know, Tyrese should have been amazing. He should have been fantastic. They wasted the absolute arse out of him.
Yep, absolutely.
They did the same with Seth Gilliam.
Yeah,
really
totally agree.
But later on, as we'll get to, he kind of redeems himself a little bit. Are we okay with him now? Or do we still think fuck him?
No, we're not okay with him. We're not okay with him because what they did with him later on was they suddenly turn these absolute flangers into insane Rambo badasses, right? So you're taking Eugene. I mean, I know we're skipping on a bit here, but you're taking Eugene, who in the last episode, you know, stood and froze and couldn't defend himself against the Walker, for God's sake. All of a sudden, he's perfectly fine going out. He's never had a Walker sort of pressed up against him, whatever. All of a sudden, he can go out there and, he's strong enough to wield his knife and just... yeah, that's totally fine. And Gabriel just goes out and does exactly the same thing. Insane. These guys have just been afraid the entire time, bitching out with every single scenario. And, I don't know. It illustrated to me how disparate the writing is on The Walking Dead. How you've got a team of people who think about the source material in so many different ways that sometimes it just if they just fall over themselves sometimes with the writing. And it's a shame because it really, really worked this episode. But if we hadn't had those moments last season, in the last first half of the season, we I don't think we'd have this, these issues, but we do.
I get what you're saying. It is like they realized that they'd created all these characters, as you say, that had no kind of like they couldn't do fuck all basically, and we were getting told left, right, and center by every survivor that we know from season 1. We were getting told these are the biggest idiots ever. They will never survive outside those walls, And like you say, within an episode, the call to action is made, and guess what? They're all pretty fucking handy with machetes, like.
Yeah. When those guys in the house,
there was some random people in the house that we'd never seen before, and come out the house with machetes and start chopping the fuck out of walkers.
Oh, the husband and wife duo that were looking out the window.
I'd never seen them before.
Yeah, and some cunt walks out in his suit. Like, what was that about?
They were in the house watching Game of Thrones for the whole of the last season, so they'd seen some swordplay on Game of Thrones and decided to come out of the house and kill some walkers. That's probably what it was.
So how do we feel about, because one thing that I noticed about this episode, and the fact that Greg Nicotero he's a phenomenal director. If you want to look at the best episodes that have come out of The Walking Dead, most of them have been directed by Greg Nicotero. The episode where Daryl had to kill Merle, that was his work. They always pull him in when they need help, and they needed help. Let's be honest, they needed help to get this off the ground. So like he comes in, and this episode for me was so beautifully shot in places. The music was phenomenal. It was visceral as hell, and I mean everything needs a montage. We'll get to that later. I mean, you put a montage in The Walking Dead, I'm fucking sold.
That was an excellent montage.
It was. We'll get there. We will get there, because I literally was stood at the TV right in front of the screen like, oh, just like, I was losing my shit, palpitations and that. But first off, like, when I'm saying about the visceral stuff, sorry, I got spack in my mouth there. When Enid and Glenn were in the church, and you had the wolf and Dr. Lesbo outside the church, I loved all that. Like that.
Yeah, that's good. That was good.
It was
again.
I can't think of her name. I'm sorry, lads.
Why would you get rid of that guy in after one episode or one main episode?
The wolf.
Yeah,
he was dying anyway. To be fair, I completely agree with you there. Actually, I thought the interplay between Denise and the wolf was Denise, by the way. Yeah,
I think she might be my new favorite character. Not Carol, obviously, but. I think she's cool.
My main problem with her, though, like, she was in amongst a herd full of walkers. The wolf's just taking a bite for her, right? She did not fucking break stride once. She wasn't running. She was constantly walking away. That was really irritating me. But, whatever. She's a big lass.
Well, you could see... Yeah, I like it. You could see that she was kind of struggling with, panic attacks. And...
God.
Well, see, I think that's actually quite realistic. I mean, when you're faced with, situations like that, I imagine that there are going to be some people who are going to really, really struggle. And the whole time she's, they've built her character up, because I think she's, a medical degree wasn't sort of, she's not a normal medical doctor, pretty much. I can't remember what she did. She like a psychologist or something.
She read one book and she was like,
and she got thrust into it, and you could see there was a point. I mean, obviously we'll get there, but there was a moment later on in the episode where she saw something approaching her infirmary, and she has this kind of sort of moment where she's really, really stressing out. I think she's a really, really well played out character, and like I said, the interplay between her and the wolf and the way things changed, and that moment where the wolf comes back and obviously gets himself killed, but she feels like she's had an effect on him.
She does.
Yeah,
I think they both feel
confused about that.
They both kind of feel like they've affected each other, because he kind of has this moment when he's outside the church when he's talking to her, and it's very much like he's doing a sort of Hannibal Lecter on her.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there thinking, I fucking love this guy. Like, this guy's going to be
he's
awesome.
very good. He's very good, yeah.
But then obviously Carol.
That was excellent, because you've been wanting someone to just kill this guy, and when they get him to the point, it was expertly done. I thought they got him to the point where you as the viewer, and Denise is obviously the good guy on screen. You're starting to have sympathy and thinking this could work. There could be something here, and then all of a sudden Carol does, he's dead, and then all of that good work that's been done has been ruined. Whereas at the same time, Carol hasn't seen any of that. All she's seen is the danger. I thought that was excellent. Conflicted emotions, really, really well done. Yeah,
very much so. I mean, Carol's still the den mother, and that kind of proved it. Like, she saw him, she hadn't seen the stuff before that, and she's like, she's still Rambo Carol at the end of the day. So yeah, she took him out. I can't say I was overly fussed about the way he died, but I was devastated at his death. I didn't want to see him go.
No, I agree. He was a very interesting guy. I loved his mannerisms. The crazy look in his eye was perfect. Do you know what I loved as well? The fact that his teeth were so dirty. Every single character in that show should have stinking manky teeth, and nobody does, apart from him. And now he's gone.
That's terrible. That's terrible. But do we care that Morgan sort of got? I don't know how they were trying to play this, and to be honest, I really couldn't have cared less by the time it happened. They sort of the fact that he kills the wolf. When the wolf turns, he then decimates him. But it's the way he says sorry to the camera, almost as if he's saying sorry to us for not killing him in the first place.
Yeah, my reaction to that scene was fuck off. I don't know about
that. Was a load of shit.
Yeah. It was terrible. It really felt.
He wakes up and says, "Where did he go?" Well, you know where he fucking went, you stupid bastard.
Yeah. You pretty much let him go, you div.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, but I really as far as I thought this episode was a fantastic episode and it was done really well, there was a lot of hammy shit going on, and the whole thing about him saying sorry to the camera really felt like he was doing it for us. Like he was saying sorry to us. And at that point I'm sitting, you know what? Carol, put two in him.
Yep.
Yeah, I could have come with that.
Morgan's a great example of a character who has all the raw materials of a real mainstay in The Walking Dead. He could be, he could really be something special in that cast, and they've fucked it up so badly in the last half season with Morgan, to the point where I actively don't like him. And I love the actor. I love the backstory, even though it was told at the most inappropriate time. When I saw him this episode and that scene in particular, it did nothing but annoy me.
Yeah, I'm still on the whole. I want Morgan gone, and I think that little scene that Carol had with Morgan before she killed the wolf, where he
should have killed him.
She says, "I should have killed you." That's coming back.
Yep, I was sat there thinking, "Yep, you should have."
But the way she said it was as if her words would have killed him. It was like, what the fuck? You vicious bitch. But we love Carol.
Oh, he's got it coming. He's got it coming from Carol. Bastard.
If anybody takes him down, it's got to be her.
It's got to be Carol.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the scene. Just the big scene in the middle of the herd.
Yeah. I
was on the edge of my fucking seat here.
Yeah, I was actually about to get the rage. I loved how he sort of had the flashbacks to Carol telling him the horror story and all that. That was awesome. And then he stopped walking and started bloody pissing about and moaning and stuff. And I just I was about to shout at the TV, "Somebody fucking slap him!" And then, a walker
by his throat. One of the two.
Walker kind of bit his bastard head off, And that was. I was kind of sat with my hands on my head,
Yeah, we've got Imran sat there, the Jogging Nerdcast. Big shout out to those boys. he gave me a little hand last night. And you're right, mate. I've not read all of the comics. I'm not completely up to date, but from what I know of that scene, it was literally ripped from panel to page. You know, from what I see, they've done a bloody fucking good job of it. But basically, in that scene, everything we wanted to happen in that scene happened, and it was. Were you shocked with the end result of Ron shooting Carl?
It was excellent, right? So that scene was I don't know, with the go look at the flowers moment a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah,
it was another case of, have these writers got the balls to do this? And yes, they have. It was superb. The kid clearly couldn't handle the situation. It was a case of a very normal reaction from a young person who just wasn't equipped to be in this world, and the horrors and the terror of that scenario. Someone had to fall. Someone had to start a chain reaction of devastating events, and I thought it was really, really well played out. The mother following straight afterwards was excellent as well.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah, I thought I loved the little. This was comedy though, like the little highlight reel of Rick's memory, and I was just thinking, you've seen her like twice. You didn't even bang her. Like, what's the matter with you? She didn't bury a child.
You've known her for all of 10 minutes. Today.
Yeah, yeah. I think he's probably thinking what might have been. The good funny in the world is it's thinning out. You know
what though? I'm still a big I'm still a big like Rick and Michonne. It's gonna happen. It's coming. I want it to happen. So seeing her die, I was happy to see her die. To be fair.
But speaking of Michonne, though, the sword through the lad's chest.
Oh,
I didn't see that coming. I've not read the comics. I assume, from what Emram was saying, that's straight from the comic pages. But shit.
Yeah,
that was fucking awesome.
I didn't think they were going to do that. And it was it was great. That was again almost panel perfect from the comic. Carl getting shot in the eye. I thought the effects were excellent. They could do a lot worse than lift things straight from the comic, to be honest with you, because some of these remixes that Kirkman likes to do just don't work for me. But that was excellent. I was really, really happy to see that.
I was happy to see that. That whole scene for me, just the whole Sam, the walkers biting the head. I loved that.
Yeah.
And then seeing what's his name, Jesse getting just annihilated, and then Ron shooting Carl in the eye. The fucking makeup on that, like, I know they always do really well with the zombie makeup and all that, but that fucking shot through the eye, that was insane. That looked awesome. Like there was a chunk of his head missing.
Yeah, it was very, very good. Yeah,
it was awesome. So where did we go after that then?
I don't know. I'm just coming to terms with the fact that I said that I was very happy to see a young boy get shot in the.
To be fair though, Chandler Riggs has been slowly kind of boiling away in this series. From series 1 to now, he's been slowly boiling away, and I think an act like this, him losing his eye, character-wise, I think he's the guy to watch out for now.
Well, in the comics, it's very much the case as well. I don't know where we stand in terms of comic book spoilers, but yeah, this.
Just lay them on me.
This could be the making of Carl. I mean, it's not a spoiler to say that he's going to survive, because clearly we know that.
Yeah.
We saw the hand twitch at the end of the episode. Grabbing Rick's hand. This shit should really make Carl. And I think, like you say, I think Chandler Riggs is he's equipped to take that and run with it.
Yeah.
He's a good little actor. I'm sure he'll be fine in that.
Yeah.
He's kind of one of the only sort of child actors in a TV show that I can really kind of, and this is going to sound a bit weird because he's a child actor, but I can get behind him, if you know what I mean. Like I think he does have the chops to actually run with it, like I think you say, and I can't wait to see this. I'm hoping when he kind of comes round, I don't know how it goes in the material, but I'm hoping when he comes round, Rick at the end of the episode is very hopeful now. I'm hoping when Chandler Riggs, when Carl comes out of it, he's just a badass. I'm hoping he's just going to be like, you know what? I've just lost an eye for some prick that I've saved more than once, by the way. Tried to kill me already. So, you know what? Fuck your new world. And I'm hoping that's the way he goes. But he won't, because the Walking Dead doesn't write things like that.
You don't know. He might sort of go Carl and just greater good and turn into Shane, maybe.
I'd like to see a young Carl Shane. He'd be pretty cool. He would be awesome. So then we have the scene where they take Carl to the infirmary, and Mega Dr. Lesbian Denise, she's like doing all her work on him. How awesome was it? How awesome was it when Rick just decides, you know what, I'm going to take on this whole fucking compound because I'm Rick Grimes.
Yeah, that was very good. Very, very smart move for a man to walk out and start swinging wildly at 300 walkers at once.
I actually loved even more than that. What I actually loved even more than that was Rick went outside to go and take on the whole herd.
Yeah.
And Denise was operating on Carl. And Michonne was helping Denise, and she was like, no, I need to get out. I need to get out and help him. I need to get out and help him. I loved that. That was so good.
I'm telling you, man, you didn't really need all the Rando Alexandrians to come out and give them a hand, because Rick and Michonne.
And Carl, obviously. You need Carl in there.
They could have completely cleared that compound. And of
Just
course,
my Scottish actually sounds like Carl, and Carol sounds pretty much the same.
So Imran thinks that he would definitely have taken them all by himself. Definitely, I'm all up in that shit. He was going to do it. And then we one of my pet peeves about the first half of the season was, as you both know, was the Glenn bait and switch. So
they did it again.
So what do they do in the season premiere of when they come back? They're like, we're going to put him in another situation where he might potentially die, but it was just so fucking shit.
Yeah, and this time, even Glenn is thinking, do you know what? Fuck this. I'm actually going to try and get myself killed. He actively, come over here, come on. Yeah, see that? And then, nah.
It annoyed the living piss out of me. I was sat there going, you're doing it again! You're doing it again! When we get to the point when the big bad comes in, we know Negan's coming, we know everybody in Sundry who hasn't watched the program or hasn't read the comics still fucking knows how Glenn's going to die. It isn't going to mean fuck all when it happens.
No, I want him gone now.
I've said it to you before, Kev. They do this a lot with other TV shows. Doctor Who is one where they do fake peril on a character that's never going to die, and then they do a fake death, and then half an hour later, or even fucking half an episode later, they're alive again. So there's no actual peril towards the character. You know nothing's going to happen to them. So as you say, if there's actually going to be any peril towards Glenn by Negan, we're going to go, he's not dead, is he? It's not going to do anything. or just bollocks, who cares?
Michonne will take the samurai sword up the middle of him, split him in half, and we're still going to be sat again. Well, he's not dead. All we're going to do is we're going to watch The Talking Dead, and Gimple's going to send Mr. fucking Hardnose a fucking email saying, "Don't worry, he's still alive." Oh man,
he's off.
I mean, they just in an episode that seems as awesome as it was, that one scene took me straight out of the show because I don't want to see that shit anymore. I'm done. And the thing was, when he comes running in and Maggie sees him, and you kind of have that bit when Maggie realizes it's actually Glenn and Glenn's still alive.
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah,
that was excellent.
I was genuinely ready for Glenn just to be wiped off the show then, and Maggie's there to watch it. She had real sort of terror and desperation in her screams and stuff, and then we had pretty much an exact repeat of the opening of the show. Just this kind of out the blue, here comes the A team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They may as well have had the 18 music playing.
Yeah.
Justin, you may as well have. That was a bit cheesy, maybe.
And that did feel a little bit out of place, to be honest with you.
You may have well the ginger guy going, "I love it."
Yeah.
Well, plans do come together when you're ginger and you're called Abraham.
And you've got a handlebar moustache. That's a winner.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I was totally cool with Abraham being shot right at the start of the episode. So the fact that we even got to see him towards that far. So what did we think of Daryl's big plan of setting the place on fire?
Pretty good plan. I mean, you need to kill a lot of walkers in a quick space of time. You need to get them drawn to a specific area. I was quite impressed that that truck had had a full tanker of whatever. Because I mean, it was literally a river of gas.
It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, but it was a pretty good plan. There wasn't many other ways that you couldn't realistically suggest that Rick and Michonne and 3 or 4 of the of the instant badasses from Alexandria were going to wipe out a giant walker horde. I mean, you can't even imagine how much your arm's going to hurt after 3 or 4 swings of a knife into someone's skull. We'll leave that stuff aside.
I could have coped with that, though. To be honest, I didn't really need the flame pit thing. I could have coped with Rick and Michonne and Carol just killing all of them.
But as I mentioned before, every show, as we know from Team America, every show and every movie needs a montage, and it's roundabout there that we get a badass montage.
It was excellent.
It was good. It was good.
I mean, that was the show at its, I would say, its absolute finest. Maybe not my favorite scene that I've ever had in a Walking Dead show, but that whole thing when it was showing you all the Alexandrians, all the survivors that we know and love, all working together to take down anything that came at them, and then you got an absolutely fucking gorgeous Andrew Lincoln kind of just being the last blow coming back, and I was just sat there going, oh man. Again, Nicotero. If you're having problems with your TV show, The Walking Dead, you just bring in Greg Nicotero and he's going to bring everyone back. He brought me straight back. All we know now is that because this episode was so good, the next 3 or 4 are going to be rancid.
Yeah, my prediction is that the next episode is going to be like a 1 hour, retrospective of Enid's life or something. Just show some horse shit that we just, that has no relevance to anyone or anything on the show.
That'll be the backstory of Denise.
That might actually be all right because I don't know.
She's had a checkered past,
Yeah.
We're hoping. But I mean, going forward, I don't know where they're going to go with it. I really don't. They did like the awesome thing of but it's very much like they just tied up a lot of loose ends that I felt they didn't need to. Like, I could have had the wolf going on for a lot longer. Daryl, as amazing as Daryl was blowing them all up with the rocket launcher, and I did sit there and do a bit of a fist pump, a proper Judd Nelson fist pump. As amazing as that was, those saviors, I mean, that leading guy, he was fucking awesome. I was kind of like...
Yeah, at the bazooka bit with Daryl at the start, I mostly just went, oh.
Yeah.
I liked him.
It might well be misplaced because we've been there before with The Walking Dead, but they must be super confident about what they've got up their sleeves with the saviors.
They must be...
To give you that glimpse and then snatch it, away. They must be thinking, you just wait. And
yeah, hopefully.
The thing is, we're assuming that there's more wolves somewhere. I'm assuming there's more wolves somewhere. We know that the Hilltop community is going to be coming into it soon because they've cast Gregory. I think it's Xander Berkeley from 24. He's going to be playing Gregory, so we know they're coming into it. We've got Deanna's little map of like trade and barley equals life. We've got all that, and so we know more's coming into it. But we had a massive explosion at the start, and then he sets fire to like just practically half the fucking town at the end. He sets fire to the river. If Negan and the Saviors, if the Hilltop community aren't seeing that, I'm assuming this is what's coming next.
It's going to draw a lot of attention, yeah.
It has to draw a hell. He blew up 8 people with a fucking bazooka, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a mushroom cloud laying motherfucker.
I also liked that. I can't remember her name, but the reaction from Abraham and the girl he was with. The bazooka's just blown up right in front of them, and they just go, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, we're totally fine. No problem."
It's like, yeah, we're cool.
Yeah.
But what's with Abraham's one-liners? Have I been missing this as the series has been going on? But he cracked quite a few one-liners in this episode.
No, I think he's been doing that, hasn't he?
Has he been doing that?
Yeah.
He definitely played the role of kind of last action hero this episode without actually doing anything particularly meaningful. I mean, Daryl obviously saved the day in the first scene, and the scene rescuing Glenn was kind of all of them with their machine guns. So
I did like the little scene when Glenn got in the van in the truck. And Daryl was like, "What the hell's going on?" And Glenn was like, "I don't know. I just got back." I did quite like that. That was pretty cool. Like it was a bit. I did laugh out loud actually, if I'm going to be totally honest with you. But that's like the episode apart from the last scene where we kind of had Rick giving confession to Carl in assault. He's now decided that these people can defend themselves after half a series of telling these people that they can't defend themselves.
You don't know how this world is.
You don't know what it's like outside. You don't know and all that. And now it's kind of like, they do know what it's like because they all downed tools and came out and helped. And I was kind of like, okay. So, but now he's Rick's an Alexandrian, supposedly. But I wasn't that bothered about that little scene at the end when he was getting all sort of with Carl.
Didn't fake Captain Janeway pretty much like sign the town over to Rick?
Fake knock off Janeway.
Yeah,
it's very much his town, very much.
Yeah,
she
sort of said, it's your town kind of thing, didn't she?
And now he's very much taken it on, and he kind of alluded to the fact that there has to be other communities out there. In his little speech to Carl, we're going to find them, which kind of means to me this whole second half of the series is going to be. It's going to be Negan and Rick. Like they're going to keep teasing Negan. Negan's going to come in. Rick's going to be like, it's going to be one of those things where he tried to tell the governor they could live together, but really they couldn't live together and all that bollocks.
Yeah. I'm happy with the slow burn with Negan though.
I don't want to see him yet.
I'm not like, I know he's a big name. I'm not hugely familiar with the character or anything, but I don't want to see him. Because it's going to be like the governor. I love the governor.
Yeah.
But then they brought him in, and then they killed him.
They brought him in.
This big bad that's going to be, going to do whatever to Glenn. You've got a good actor in there who's playing him, but don't blow your load too soon. Let it build up slowly. Let the tension build. Let Rick do his thing and doing pig farming again or whatever, and
pig farming again. I'm completely with you with Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He's a phenomenal actor, but yeah, I'm not quite ready to see him. And I think the only reason they really cast him was because of all the shit they took from the last series, the first half, because they took a lot of grief over that whole Glenn thing, rightly fucking so as well.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like we've cast Negan, and it's kind of like, oh well, we're going there now, are we? Which, don't get me wrong, I want to see, I'm not sure I want to see it yet.
Yeah. Just take your time. I mean, that was good in the the last season when they got to Alexandria. I don't think you were too big a fan of it, Kev, but they kind of built up the tension towards the end of the season where something was going to kick off. Someone wasn't right. There was tension between the residents and all that kind of thing. It was building up. It was building up. It was building up. I like that.
Well,
I've got nothing against that.
I did that review on moviepilot.com where basically, for me at that point in time, I honestly thought that Rick was going to be the new bad guy. I thought they're gonna build him up to the point where he's going to turn Shane, as Phoenix has said in the chat bar there. He's going to turn Shane. He's going to be the bad guy. He's the one that's going to fuck over the Alexandrians, which he kind of was building up to. And then it fizzled out because Morgan came back, and then he was all like, survival. These guys don't know how to live, and all that. I mean, I was.
Sorry, you go, Kev.
I was ready to see Rick become the big bad. That's kind of what I wanted, but they're not going to do that because he doesn't do it in the comics.
Is there any way then that they could bring Morgan back from us not giving a fuck?
Yes, I think they can. I think they definitely can do that. Whether they will, I don't know, because like I say, one of the biggest problems with the show is the writers having different takes on these characters and them flip-flopping between annoying character trait to redemption, back to annoying character trait to redemption.
To knocking out Carol, which you just don't do.
Yeah, and I mean the thing with Morgan is his values. His values that you can understand. They showed you the episode. They were trying to get across why he's decided that he wants this life of not killing any living things or anything like that. But in the situation he was in, he's faced with, if I don't do this, then lots and lots of other people could potentially die. So his philosophy was bullshit. His philosophy directly caused a lot of the problems that happened in that last episode. And you've got him and Carol sparked out on the deck. Carol saying she wished that she killed him, rightly so. I don't think it's impossibil to go back with Morgan to fix it. I think Lenny James is an incredible actor. I think he can play any role. This particular role, I think that he can deliver any lines that you give him, any script that you give him, really, really well. But I just don't want to see any more flip flop, and I want to see him learn his lesson and become a stalwart of the town, be the Tyrese that we never got, be the Morgan that we haven't got up to now. But we've seen flashes of it. I mean, how excited were we when Morgan was being teased as like a potential recurring character after? I mean, Clear was one of the best episodes, I thought, of the Walking Dead, full stop. And that was a Morgan-centric episode, and then he was gone for a while. And when they were teasing bringing him back, I was getting excited. They can redeem him. Will they? I don't know. With Carol around, I don't know if those two can be around together in this show anymore. We'll have to see.
Like I said before, that's coming back. The way she said to him, "I should have killed you."
That's not resolved.
To me, that wasn't her saying, "I should have killed you," but I'm glad I didn't. To me, that was her saying, "I should have killed you, and you shouldn't be here." That was kind of my thing.
Yeah,
that was my take on that. And I hope
I've not killed you yet.
Yeah, and I hope she does kill him. I really do, because unlike you, Hayes, I have no need to see Morgan come back into the fold. I think they spunked him off. He was, like you say, they teased him so well. You kept getting little glimpses of him finding the map in the church, realizing he was on the way to meeting Rick and his crew. Yeah. There was so much going on that could have been awesome, and then he came in, and then, as you would say, they spunked him down the trough.
Yeah,
they really did, and it annoys me. It annoys me. So I don't want to see him come back. I want to see him die, and I want to see Carol kill him.
Yeah, I do want to see Carol kill him. Just that. I mean, I watched the final episode of the first part of the season before I watched this one. I mean, the fight scene was pretty good with Carol versus Morgan. It was pretty good. Carol should have kicked his ass though, but kind of But anyway,
I thought it was it was a good scene. I was pleased it was reasonably even, but I thought realistic that that Morgan won. To be honest, I mean, Carol might be badass, but she ain't.
Still Carol.
She ain't fucking Donatello. Do you know what I mean?
And he's clearly Raphael in this scenario. So that's that's sort of the episode that we dealt with. I want to talk about characters. Like, we kind of just dealt with Morgan and a little bit about Carol. Are there any other characters? Because the Alexandrians all kind of banded together at the end, and we got that kick-ass montage. We got some kick-ass scenes. I know it was hammy as shit the way it all came together. But do we see anybody in the Alexandrians becoming a survivor? Like as in the sense of who we have already?
Well, Phoenix Tears has just asked about the pastor. What do we think about the pastor? I mean, we've already kind of bitched and moaned about him.
Yeah.
He went out and fought. Could he keep on doing that?
I can't stand him. I think he's one of the worst characters in the show. He should have learned his lesson when he came to the realization about, because when he was first introduced to the show, and you had the revelation that he pretty much locked out everyone from his church and watched everyone die. From that should have been his redemption arc, being complete when he realized that. And then, but again, more just flip flopping. Oh, he's all right. Oh no, he's back to being a dick. When he got to Alexandria, the big sort of final nail in the coffin for me was when he went to Janeway. When he went to Janeway, tried to tell her that Rick and his crew.
Oh yeah, there's no coming
He was
back.
trying to be Chakotay.
Yeah. And that was I was just like, you slimy, oily fuck. I really don't like him as a character.
I did have a similar reaction, Hayes, in that scene. I just remembered saying, "Oh, you bastard!"
Yeah, and
how dare you, sir?
Yeah, and as
Phoenix
was saying in the chat there, Rick's got a very short memory. Oh yeah, you can take one of my two surviving children away. That's fine.
Yeah, we kind of dealt with that earlier, and it was very strange. Like,
yeah.
But moving away.
He's like, yeah, I can do this. I can do this. I will do this. And Rick's like,
he was trying to convince himself, wasn't he?
Yeah, okay, yeah, you take her.
No, my exact words were to the TV, as you do. You fuck.
Yeah.
No, you can't. You can't do that. You're a massive pussy.
So moving on from one piss-poor, wishy-washy person in the group, we've got one guy who, I'll be completely honest, I'm going to give him the best line of the whole episode. There's no clocking out today. What did we think of Eugene?
I quite like him like that, being a bit of a kick-ass kind of, but then it doesn't really tie him with what we've seen before, where
he's still
he's a fucking coward. It doesn't tie him with it.
Yeah, I don't buy it. It would have been fun if we didn't have that scene with Rosita, teaching everyone the basics of combat and all that shit. If we didn't have him being an absolute flange in that episode,
open-toed sandals.
then I could maybe buy that he'd started to come round and get over his fears and all that shit. As it is, I didn't buy it at all when he suddenly turned into Rambo. I think he'd be more like Sam. Going out there with his knife, thinking, "Yeah, brilliant, I can do this," and all of a sudden thinking, "Oh shit," and then dying. That would have been a more realistic thing to happen with Eugene. But we'll see. He's an interesting guy. He does have some good lines, so yeah, we'll give him that.
I think he is an interesting character. He is,
and he does have a very important role in the comics. But
so is he all to do with Barley equals life, or?
Well, Yeah, I don't want to say. Yeah, that's probably a little bit of a spoiler, so I don't want to go on about it too much. But
Well, we'll hit that another day.
yeah.
So I'll move away from Eugene and let's talk about some of the randos. We still have is it Aaron, or as the Americans pronounce it, Aaron? It annoys me.
Well, I mean, my one of my good mates is called Aaron, but he also accepts Aaron, so it's.
Does he? Does
Yep,
he?
he does.
Really?
He does. Yeah.
And he's from the UK, and he accepts Aaron.
Does.
Because as much as I used to love watching Lost, and everybody knows I love watching Lost. Every time they called that baby Aaron, when it was clearly called Aaron, even the British guy in the show was calling him Aaron. Oh
Yeah.
man, it done man nothing. But what do we think?
But then there was the Aaron in 24. He was okay.
Oh, he was cool. He was awesome.
Was he called Aaron or was he called Aaron?
I think he was Aaron, but Americans.
Americans.
Was that Kim's boyfriend?
No, it was.
Who was that?
It was the security guy, the secret security guy. He was in almost every series, and he was always like protecting the president.
He always plays like a general or some shit.
Oh yeah.
I think he's Glenn Morshower was his name.
Yeah, sorry, how could I confuse him? Yeah, he was an amazing character in 24. Yeah.
But like, what do we think of Aaron? Is he a stayer? Is he a keeper? I mean, I still quite like him from the fact that he brought Daryl into the fold into Alexandria and sort of started giving him a job. But is he?
Oh no, you mean that? Yeah, he's all right. I think he's a good character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I think it's a decent character. Yeah.
what about Knockoff Janeway's son, Spencer?
Nah, kill him. Kill him.
Get rid of him.
I'm still waiting for a brutal death.
I actually think, see, it's so difficult to talk about predictions and stuff when because I am very familiar with the comics, so I can't really comment.
Just give us predictions, and then we'll know if he dies or not.
I don't know. You need people. What I will say is that you need people to potentially not agree with new regimes.
Do you think he's that guy?
I think he could be one of them.
That just makes me want him dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with those ones you just think, shut up. In 2 episodes you're going to be dead, you prick.
Because when Rick comes in with his Ricktatorship, which clearly in the last scene there you can see that he's the cogs are turning. That there is going to be some discontent from some people who don't quite agree with his methods. Whether that's going to be Spencer, whether it's going to be other people.
It seemed like after getting, it kind of looked to me like after we got the badass montage, it kind of looked to me like they are on the same page as him. They all kind of now realize that if you don't kind of do what Rick does, and if you don't know what it's like out there, you're gonna die. So
you don't know how the world is.
You absolutely love that, don't you?
Every episode, like the last.
And then there's my character who I am most hopeful for, and Imran brought him up before. Thanks for bringing him up, Imran. I mean, I love Heath. From the first half of the series, I loved every scene he was in. He wasn't in it enough. He should have been in it more. I've got so much hope that he's going to be, as you said earlier, he's going to be the Tyrese we never got. I can get
behind that. Yeah,
I can cope with that. Yeah.
But as I mentioned to you, I think it was yesterday, Chris, he is going to be the new Jack Bauer in 24. So chances are he's probably going to die in this.
24.
24.
Why?
You had a choice of being a decent sort of untouchable character in The Walking Dead or the new Jack Bauer, which is going to fucking flop. You would go with The Walking Dead, wouldn't you?
You would.
As long as you're not going to get killed after 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Which they tend to do with their best characters.
Yeah. But what I would say, I mean, I don't know if you want to move on to the next character, Kev, but are we kind of saving the best for last, or
come on then?
Baby Judith.
Who have I met? Baby Judith. I'm still on Judith needs to die. I'm still on that.
Yeah. Yeah. I honestly think Denise is my favorite character from the Alexandria.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I agree with you completely.
Yeah.
Obviously Carol, but yeah, from Alexandria, I think Denise is my favorite character.
She's just got something about her, man. Yeah.
It's Zoe from Nurse Jackie.
And I know nothing's going to happen. She
She's
likes
cool.
women, but still, it doesn't stop me liking her.
But I don't know. She's just one of. I can't get with her. I'm sorry. And I know what you're saying. She is a good actress. She's a very good actress. She was brilliant in this episode. She had some really standout scenes with the wolf. Some brilliant scenes. Get me to the infirmary and I will save your life kind of thing.
Yeah.
I
and
loved all that.
That scene that was touched on earlier, where Michonne is kind of desperate to get out and go and help Rick, and she's just saying, "You need to kind of hang on a minute. I'm in the middle of saving this kid's life." I don't know, man. She plays those scenes so well, and the little panic attacks, and the little wry smiles, the kind of flirty scenes with what's her name, Fist Bump Girl.
Fist Bump Girl. Who, by the way, could her pregnancy be any fucking bigger?
Yeah, that's a battle that they're losing quite spectacularly.
I mean, she's going to have to die soon, or they're going to have to write her out of a few episodes, because you cannot hide that bump anymore.
No.
It was like there was a scene at the very end when they were kind of waiting for Carl in the house, and she's kind of stood there, and she had like a hand over the top of her belly. She had her arm over the top of her belly, and I'm sitting there going, "You're not hiding that anymore."
Yeah. They're overplaying the hoodies as well a bit.
Oh, she loves the hoodies.
Oh, just lean forward a bit and just kind of have you, Nobody will see.
Couldn't they just do like an Agent Scully and just film her from the top up?
Well,
that could work. She is quite well endowed.
But that's not what Denise wants. So, but I know what you're saying. She's gonna be a decent character, but for me, I'm not there yet with Denise. I'm quite far away from that with Denise.
Fair enough.
So, do we want to make some predictions going forward?
On your own.
I know Hayes probably won't want to, but
I can predict that. I can predict that the next episode isn't going to be as good as this.
No,
that's for sure.
It's not. It's not.
Yeah. They've dealt with a hell of a lot this episode. A lot of fireworks. I'm setting myself. I'm trying to. I'm starting to think we're gonna get some bullshit emotional scenes with Glenn and Maggie that are gonna make my stomach churn.
There's a
lot of stuff I'm dreading.
We'll do some Glenn and Maggie on the pallets round the back scenes. Back in the prison days. I'm not looking forward to that.
Maggie's pregnant now, isn't she? So there's going to be all this, all this. We've seen it before. We've already got one baby too many on The Walking Dead.
Is a baby enough? Do we need another one?
No, we don't. I mean, we don't need Judith. But, Judith is, shall we say, dealt with a lot earlier in the comics.
I mean,
she's just going to spend the whole season in the church.
Me personally, I'm ready for Judith to go, and I know Chris always gives me shit about this, because why would you ever want a child to go? But let's be honest, they killed Mika in cold blood. Carol killed Mika in cold blood, and it was fucking good. They had the balls to do it, as you said earlier. Yep. They've now shot Carl in the fucking eye. We got to see Sam have his face munched just awesomely.
Yeah.
So you can't
do that to like a 2-year-old kid, though.
Why not?
She's not 2 years old anymore.
No, you can't do that.
Did you see that child when they were passing her over? She's not 2 years old anymore. I'm okay with seeing that kid go.
And I tell you what, I tell you what, I want to see. I want to see Zombie Baby. Come on.
Oh no. That's when you're dealing with. Did you ever watch on Sci-Fi? Did you watch?
Is that a step too far?
Did you ever watch that Sci-Fi TV show Zombie Nation?
No.
It was an absolute farce of a show. In the first episode, you got a zombie baby, and it wasn't good.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't good. I think Walking Dead would probably do it better, though.
Yeah. No, to be fair, yeah. I don't actually think that would work on The Walking Dead, but I think Judith is a horrific burden, and I think if the writers had the balls that they've demonstrated that they have now with these scenes with Sam and with Carl, I think because in the comics, Judith ain't around now, and
spoiler.
I think if they had, well, I mean, it was long ago. It was long ago. It happened. it happens in the prison, the prison arc in the comics. And
which would have made sense.
I think, I just think if they had the stones they have now back then, Judith wouldn't be around.
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, they even did that scene when all the shit was hitting the fan, and it went back to the baby carrier, and it was covered in blood, and you thought for a minute Judith's gone.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I did kind of shout at the TV, "Fuck yeah!"
You sick bastard.
And I just want to address something Phoenix has put in there. Phoenix Tears 321. You guys are much better than Talking Dead. Completely agree. Chris Hardwick can suck a dick, basically. And I do want to address something while we're on that subject. Chris, you watched it on FX, didn't you?
Yes.
Tonight. Did you see the last trailer section that we got before the last part of the show? And
I left it till about 9:20 so that I could fast forward through all that shit.
Well, he was basically doing a promo for The Talking Dead, coming on straight after The Walking Dead. And
Right.
He literally sat there and said, "I know I've got an American accent, but please like me."
Oh,
Yeah.
you needy fuck.
That was when I sent you the message on Facebook saying, "Oh snap! I'm going to drop me some fuck Chris Hardwicks," because that for me was.
Oh no, I've never watched that show. I'm never gonna now. After that, don't like people being needy.
No, he wants a bit of loving. But I mean, the Americans love him. Let them have him. So yeah, like how many times? The last thing that I really want to talk about, and then if anybody in the room wants to maybe jump into that fourth seat, I'll open it up and you can jump in and you can ask questions or you can speak about it if you want. How many times did you guys find yourself shouting "fuck yeah" at the screen? Because that's how you measure a good episode in my eyes.
Not as many times as the Rambo Carol episode.
I did it. I certainly did it. Certainly did it a few times. But probably it's some of the, like I say, some of the darker scenes, which
I wouldn't say like fuck yeah wise when Carol shot the wolf fella, probably because it's Carol. I would say oh fuck when the little laddie got his head bitten off, and then fuck yeah when Michonne stabbed the fella through the heart. That was cool.
I was more like fuck
That's
yeah when the kid got the head eaten. I was like fuck yeah, big time.
I was absolutely, yeah, which makes us monsters, I'm sure, but
not at all. Because let's be honest, it's one of those shows that, as much as I love The Walking Dead, and I have done since episode 1, they so fucking hit and miss with their episodes. They go forward, they go back, they do great stuff, they do shit stuff. I mean, is it time for Gimple to maybe move on and let somebody else have a go? Because he does do great stuff.
Do you know? I'm tempted to say. I don't know. I think Gimple's just a bit too overconfident with stuff. The way he structured last season, I think was a big. The last half season. God damn it, a writer's strike. Was such a big fail.
Yeah.
That I was ready, and to be fair, we all know he can knock it out of the park with one episode, but we also all know that the real reason for this for this episode being so good was Nicotero, as opposed to Gimple.
I mean, it was the first thing I noticed when the episode started and the credits came up. I saw directed by Greg Nicotero, and I was like, right, we're in for a good one. Because
the key thing with the director is how is a single episode going to play out? How is this contained 45 minutes to an hour of television going to play out? The thing with a showrunner is how is this show going to play out? How is this season going to play out? How are things going to tie together? How are we going to structure things from show to show? And that's the area where Gimple's been dropping the ball lately. He did it badly with the Glenn, the Glenn fiasco, and I'm sure he's going to do it again this half season. I don't know. I mean, hopefully, a lot of the fan criticism might have had an effect, but like I say, we've been here before with hope. I'm very much holding it back. Despite the fact that I loved the episode tonight, I'm holding back the fanfares for now.
They did take a lot of shit, and like I said, I think that's why they've cast Negan. To be honest, I think that's why he's coming in. I think that's why they've cast Gregory as well. Because correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, but Gregory is the one who pretty much hands Glenn over.
There. Are we talking about that?
Yeah, we can drop that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
the show doesn't always stick to the comics. It doesn't always go that way because we know that they retconned Andrea and basically gave Andrea's role to Carol. You know, they've done that a lot of the time, so they might not go down that road.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they can't go down that road. They can't go down the exact same road because obviously on the Talking Dead, you had Kirkman go out there and literally just blur out the exact scene what happened with Negan and Lucille. So,
another Talking Dead fucking debacle.
I mean, that's insane. But that was Kirkman. That's your man who's. Yeah, don't get me started on Kirkman. Yeah, Gregory is definitely a very interesting character. I'm interested to see what they do with him. He's got many, he's kind of a two-faced sort of partially spineless sort of leader, and someone who I think could be, because at the moment we tend to get sort of very black and white people who have very definitive ways of working, but. Yeah, I think Gregory, as long as he's cast right and, has the right kind of lines written for him, he could be interesting.
Well, cast-wise, they've got Xander Berkeley from 24. He played George Mason in the first couple of series. He's a bad actor. He's a good actor. He's a phenomenal actor.
To be fair, he is a very good actor. Loved him at 24. He had a great character arc in 24.
Yeah.
Where at the start you're thinking he's a bit of a knob end, and then at the back end of his character arc in 24, you're really sympathising with him. So he can pull off a role like that, I think.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to him coming in. He was also in The Mentalist as well. I know Chris doesn't like The Mentalist, but he was in that as well, and he was really good in that. But I mean, episode 2 coming next Monday for us, Sunday for the Americans. I think we should come back and we should do this again, and we should talk about episode 2 when that's done. And I've got a funny feeling it's going to be a bit more ranty and a bit more, because we know it's going to suck before we even get there.
Yeah, it's going to do the same thing as after the Rambo Carol episode. It was just downhill, really. I think that's going to do the same.
It is. And it's such a shame because, as you mentioned on the last episode that we did, Hayes, like, when they get it right, they really get it right. And this episode, although it was like a bunch of hammy scenes that kind of didn't really gel or make sense, but the action within them was good.
Yeah.
I just hope that it maintains some sort of standard and we get a good second half series. And if they keep teasing Negan, I'm happy with that. Let's just see him in the second last episode or whatever. Keep him away just now.
I think you're right. There's no rush. I mean, I'm excited for Negan, but there's no rush. We don't have to have, Rick versus bad guy X every episode. So yeah, I'm happy to hang around a bit.
At least we don't have Andrea around, who would probably shag Negan because she likes to shag all the baddies.
Oh man, if only we got the comic book version of Andrea, things would be so different.
Exactly. She's still kicking in the comic books, isn't she? She's still around.
Yeah.
Really?
Although, as you alluded to earlier, Kev, we've got Carol in that sort of role. But like I say, that to be fair, that is something I am really interested in. How they deal with the Carol Morgan predicament, because they have to deal with it somehow. They can't just leave that. If they leave that and they just carry on as normal and they suddenly become pals or whatever, nah. They're not going to. There's not going to be like a Rick and Carol moment where he sends her away and then she comes back and it's all okay. We're not having that. No. There's going to be a hell of a lot of tension between Carol and Morgan. And for me, it still has to be Carol just
straight up takes him out.
But that could be
Straight up.
interesting. Some, the tension between Carl and Morgan, where they have different views, where he doesn't want to kill everyone and she just does it does it anyway. That could cope with that.
Do we envision a scene where Carol tells Morgan to look at the flowers?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Or maybe you could lose him into a false sense of security and then, shotgun to the head from behind or something. Yeah, I can see that happen as well.
so
You had that.
Yep.
Sorry, go on.
Carry
No, go on. Sorry.
we have this fourth chair here. We have a few people still watching. I can't believe people have actually stayed. This is, in fact, our first blab. If you want to check out the podcast, we're on iTunes, 365 Flicks Podcast. We've got quite a few episodes. We don't always talk, well, we very rarely get to talk about The Walking Dead, which is why we want to do this, so we could say, screw you, Hardwick. And go on there, have a look for us. We're on Facebook and we're on Twitter. But right now, we have the fourth seat. Do you guys want to open up and see if anybody wants to jump in?
Yeah, go for it. Let's give it a try.
I'll open it up and I'll see what happens. And while we're waiting, did you guys see the Daredevil trailer?
No, I've not watched it yet.
You not watched trailer number 2? Oh man,
No, not yet.
it's gonna be some damn good shit. That actually, I'm quite looking forward.
I actually shared it on the Facebook page earlier on, and then I got distracted and I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, so I kind of thought this might happen. Do we let him in, or do we say no, go away?
I don't know. I don't know. He's a dodgy character.
Chris, this is your first chance meeting Imran. Imran's a good friend of the show, and we absolutely love the hell. Whoa!
Okay, this is not a good idea, you guys.
He's driving.
I'm blabbing and driving. I do not recommend this.
You're not
Jesus.
you're not driving, are you? You have somebody else driving for you.
Oh no, I'm driving. I gotta look about no hands. This is so dangerous.
Are you actually in kit right now, Imran?
Thunder, yes, Michael. Car home. I got cruise control. I just say car home and I sit back. No, I did this so that to show you what not to do. Don't anybody do this. This is not a good idea. You guys, great show. I've had so much fun watching, and the Daredevil 2 trailer is so awesome.
It is, isn't it, Imran? You know I'm not a huge Marvel fan, and I wasn't a big fan of Series 1, but I actually am looking forward to this shit.
I just love when Frank tells Matt, he's like, you hit them, they get back up. I hit them, they stay down.
Oh,
that's badass.
It's very Punisher-centric, by the way, lads. It looks like the Punisher. Do you think it's going to be a whole series, Imran, of like Daredevil and Punisher going at it?
I don't know, because it ends with Elektra, and there's going to be a second trailer on the 25th, and I bet that second trailer will be Elektra-centric. So I kind of feel like it'll be him and her maybe teaming out. There's going to be some kind of three-way team-up thing.
No, we don't mind three-ways on our show.
Oh, I love three-ways.
This is Imran there. He's obviously the Jock and Nerd podcast. Again, anybody still listening, have a look at them. They are a fantastic podcast. We've been buddies with them for some time now. This is our friend Hayes, who's basically our comic book kind of enthusiast now. But we had to bring him on for the Walking Dead crack because he's got some interesting insights.
I like Hayes. You should have him on more.
Oh, thanks, man. I'll get rid of Chris and we'll keep Hayes on.
No, there's room for many. We got 4 squares here. At least, there's plenty of room for everyone.
Man, thanks for popping on. I can't believe you're actually driving though, dude. That's fucking insane.
I can't either. What am I doing? What the fuck is wrong with me?
So the episode, Imran, you've had a little listen to what we thought. What's been your reaction to the episode?
I thought it was. I was surprised that they did the No Way Out. Like the story arc in the comic books is called No Way Out, and the Way Out. And I'm like, are they gonna do this? And they fucking did it.
Yep.
And I love that everyone. I love that everyone kind of had a little hero moment at the end. I love seeing everyone come back together because everyone was so separated that then finally, it was a little convenient that Abraham showed up when he did. Whatever.
Yeah.
It was still good. And I felt like I really think they're gonna keep Alexandria now, obviously.
Yeah, it looks that way. Like, let's rebuild. Let's use knock off Janeway's map and let's get some trade routes going. Set up the Republic and we'll be fine.
And Negan is not gonna be happy when he finds out what happened to his dudes.
Well, to be honest, mate, they took out like 8 of his buddies.
The main guy was so great because he was like, "I'm gonna kill you." Nah, I'm not gonna kill you.
Yeah, I love that.
Wait,
I love
will
that.
kill you.
Yeah, it was good.
I'll give you some props there, Imran.
Thanks. Do not blab and drive.
So where you going, Imran? What's happening? You going to work?
I'm driving home from work. I was listening at work in my office.
Oh, not safe for work, mate. Not safe for work.
No, I got a door. I have an office and I keep it low. Nobody can hear. I can kind of close my door. It's fine. I played.
I'm pleased you kept it low because I dropped the C bomb earlier on and I regret it.
No, don't regret nothing. They're just words, man. They're just words. They don't hurt.
If you're gonna drop it, you got to drop it on Blab.
Yeah. I did so well not doing it last time.
But yeah,
what's more, I thought it would be trickier for you guys to have people watch the show who didn't want to be spoiled since the episode just aired.
Yeah.
You know?
I was conscious of that, but then I thought, you know what, fuck it, I'm going for it.
Yeah, we wanted to do. I was thinking about I wanted to do our Deadpool review show on Blab, but I'm like, a lot of people may not have seen it and they're not going to want to watch, so we'll just put it in the podcast and you can listen to it, whenever you want to listen.
Well,
yeah, we're seeing it tomorrow night.
Yeah, we're going tomorrow night to see it.
Oh, awesome! I'm jealous.
It's great. It's really good. I don't really have anything bad to say about it.
But you never have anything bad to say about anything Marvel, dude.
No, dude, you heard Fantastic Four? There was nothing good to say about that.
It was a good film. Fantastic Four was awesome.
Oh, Jesus.
No, I don't. We've produced 2 whole shows where we just ripped that fucking movie apart.
I listened to it and I did think to myself, you know what, I'm going to defend that one day.
Oh, that would be great. I just want to say hi and nice job with the show, and I'll pop out so that I don't crash or rear end someone.
No, you don't want to be doing that.
No,
I did. I'll tell you one thing though: the Honda Elements, they recently had a recall for their airbags. So the thing that could save you from a crash they said it would kill you. So
wow.
I had it replaced. The funniest thing is the airbag will kill you. If the crash doesn't kill you, the airbag's gonna kill you. But I've had it replaced, so it's okay. I can run into a wall now. I'll be fine. Let's try that. What do you think? Live on Blab? Airbag test? No?
You know what? I honestly think the ratings and the views would just go sky high if you did that. So if you want to.
All right, let me find a nice brick wall here.
You're going right up, dude.
But honestly, Imran, thanks for coming on. Thanks for helping me out last night and taking the time to speak to us. It went on a bit longer than I thought. I think we both thought it was going to go. And you gave me a
nice
bit of insight.
2-hour, 15-minute video out of that one. All right, you guys, somebody else jump in and hang out and listen to 365 Flicks podcast. Laters.
Good
Cool,
man.
man.
Here's Imran.
Yeah, so that dude was that was Imran. He's I love his podcast. We've been listening to his podcast for some time now. We did a big crossover episode. I would say what number it was, but I haven't got a fucking Scooby-Doo or what it was. So if anybody else
It was a long
wants to
recording session because we did an episode for them and then we did an episode for us.
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
quite a long,
I'm gonna have to
quite a
listen
long
to that.
session.
Yeah, he sounds like a really cool dude. Sounds really
Oh,
fun.
he's awesome. And I recommend that everybody still in here listens to the podcast because they're fantastic. They are the Jock and Nerd. We are 365 Flicks. Obviously, listen to us first because, we're a little bit better.
Yeah.
Plus, we talk about DC as well as Marvel, where, they kind of, don't like to talk about DC much. So that 4th seat is still open if anybody wants to come on. We're talking about The Walking Dead, which aired tonight in the UK, aired last night in America, and yeah, we pretty much loved it. Does anybody have anything else they would like to say about the show? Either going forward or I know Chris has a lot of pet peeves about the show as it has stood so far.
Which Chris?
Hayes.
Oh, I can let Chris one take the mantle.
I think on the whole it was good. I think the scenes where they were fighting all the walkers and all that, that was just awesome. I think on the whole we're off to a good start, but as we said earlier on in the episode, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to keep on going that way. You would hope it would, but we've hoped it was going to do that before and it didn't happen. So,
The thing with the first half of the series was, I mean, you give it a lot of shit. Everybody gives it a lot of shit, but the first 3 episodes were pretty good. It was until they done the Glenn bait and switch when they killed him and we knew he wasn't fucking dead. That was when it all went downhill and they never got it back. They never did.
Yeah.
I would have been happy for Glenn to die in that episode. I mean, that was a good way for him to go, I thought.
Yeah.
And then and they went the flashback with Morgan, which who gives a shit? And
yeah.
And then they just Doctor Who'd it with Glenn, where they just he rolled under a fucking seat or whatever it was. And then they did the same thing on tonight's episode where he was done for. Honestly, he was done for. This was going to happen. It was Glenn's time. He sacrificed himself for Maggie. This was his time. Oh, no, it wasn't.
Again, it was the perfect setup. And you're thinking, oh, look, they're going to right the wrongs of the last bait and switch with Glenn. And they're sorting it out straight away. Cards on the table. We know we fucked up, guys. So here's your Glenn death that you've been waiting for. And they balled it.
But do you think had they done that, it would have been like a bit more of a slap in the face to us?
I actually think it would have been a really good idea because again we're seeing the pain of Glenn's death already hit Maggie's face for a second time, and and they take it away from us. I mean, at what point is Maggie just going to go up to Glenn and just be like, "Just fucking die, man"?
Well, that's the thing. They've already, by this point, I think by this point, they've had all of the Alexandrians who we've never seen before, and all that. We've got them coming out and going ape shit with bloody swords and machetes and guns and God knows what else, and fighting the like fucking Jedi with these walkers. It's so sort of unrealistic to think that Glenn's pregnant wife is in danger, so he's going to go fucking ape shit and just kill everything in sight by himself just to take the walkers away from Maggie. Is that so out, completely out there?
Well, we know he's got it in him because, I mean, the last time I remember really rooting for Glenn was when he thought that the governor was raping Maggie in the next room.
Yeah.
Glenn went fucking mental. And he sort of smashed the chair up because I think he was tied to the chair, wasn't he? And he smashed the chair up and like, that scene was was class. That was Stephen Young at his best. And Glenn's just been on a gradual downhill slope ever since then, to be honest.
I mean, I absolutely take nothing away from Stephen Young, like you say. He's a fantastic actor. He has been from the very start, like that very first episode, hey, dumbass and tank and all that. He's been awesome. But as you say, probably since that scene, can they not? It's like, why are we wanting Glenn to die? Why do we want him gone? Like,
I don't really have anything against. I want Glenn to die now because they've pissed us about.
Yeah, they bait and switched.
Before that,
times.
I didn't have anything against Glenn. I didn't want Glenn to die.
Oh, but he has come up with some sanctimonious bullshit though as well, hasn't he? I mean,
there was other people I would want to die before Glenn for that though. Yeah, like the bit in the church before the preacher went all fucking Sam Jack on us or whatever, where he said, "Oh, God has sent us a fucking whatever," gods in Alexandria to fucking save everybody. I don't like that shit.
If it's Glenn or Gabriel, I want to see Gabriel getting his
Kill Gabriel.
getting souped out by a walker.
So I do have one more question for both you guys before we go, and we will come back next week, 10:30, same again. After the episode, we'll come back. I think we're definitely going to do this again.
Yeah, we are.
Phoenix Tears in the chat room there thinks that we need a woman to even out the testosterone in the room. So she's quite happy to come on and have a little crack with us next week. Hopefully it's a terrible episode so you can really tell us we're wrong. But I do have one last question. Do we think that it's possible that Enid is a savior or a wolf?
Which one's Enid?
Enid's the little girl who Glenn basically shacking up with right now. Well, not shacking up, but helping.
Possible? I'd be okay with that.
There's something going on with her. There's something shady happening with her.
I'd be good with that. Hayes?
Hayes is like, I've read the comic books. I don't want to say too much.
No. I can distance myself comic books wise with that one. But I think up until this point, the things that they've done with her would indicate that she doesn't really have anything shady going on. The little scene with her in the church where she stands and just kind of having a look and stuff. I think I don't know. I can't see it, but I'd be interested if they did it. And a really interesting arc for her could be, if she gets close to Carl, and then the saviors start making the move, and then she kind of reveals herself as one of them or something like that. It's the potential's there, and we know that Kirkman likes his remixes anyway. So even if that does deviate from the comic plot, not saying that it does, or not saying that it doesn't. It's something that's definitely possible. She's definitely got a lot of a lot to explore character wise. I think. Yeah.
I'm hoping she's going to do the John Cena heel turn.
Yeah, I want to see more scenes with Carl because I thought her chemistry with Carl was very good. When they had that episode and they were kind of hugging in the tree.
Did you like that one, Chris?
It was good.
Oh, so before she kills Glenn, she's going to go do 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 do.
So basically,
you can't see me.
I know what you're saying, Hayes. Like that's an arc that I would like to see Enid go on. I don't want to just being someone who has, as Phoenix has said, just survived. I want to see her being a character who's done anything to survive.
Yeah.
And if she's teamed up with the Saviors, or if she is indeed maybe a wolf, because I'm hoping there's still more there, or maybe she's just from one of the other communities. Whatever it is, I'm hoping she's got a seedy background, and I'm hoping
she certainly came from somewhere. We obviously saw that scene with her parents and how they how they died.
That was a good scene. So you've got that sort of traumatic ass scene with her, and then she's going about trying to survive. It's not,
but she's really fucking skilled. When Glenn finds her, she's not in a position where she's desperate. Mm-hmm. She knows exactly what to do to survive on her own, how to evade the walkers. There could well be more to her than meets the eye. Like,
yeah,
and I think that's probably a good place to end that. So that's been episode 1 of what we are calling the 365 Talking Heads, the officially unofficial companion to The Walking Dead. It's a bit long-winded, isn't it?
I like it.
It's a bit long-winded, though. But yeah, it's the officially unofficial companion to The Walking Dead show. It's our and your alternate to The Talking Dead, because even though I've got 2 Chris's sat in here with me, I've got somebody trying to get in. Nico, we're just kind of wrapping this up now, mate, but I'll stop the recording in a second, and we'll probably just have a little crack after that. But if you want to listen to us and you want to listen to our other stuff, we're generally a movie and a TV podcast. I was going to show you my Cena spinner belt. Okay, you're on in 2 seconds. We're on Facebook. We're on the Twitter. when I get the file for this, I'll be slamming it up on YouTube. This will probably go on the iTunes feed. We're on Stitcher. We're on all sorts. Just look for 365 Flicks Podcast. You'll find us. We're out there. And do you guys just want to say goodbye? And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, cheers. Thoroughly enjoyed it once again, gentlemen. Thanks very much.
And I'll stop the recording in a second, and we'll just have a bit of a crack, because I really want to see this John Cena belt now. So goodbye.
Cheers.